communicated to the bank. I think it was GT Bank back then. So we communicated to GT Bank that how can we do it in such a way that we can be saving on every revenue that we receive as an organization. Now, the infrastructure was not really too clear then. Of course, it's a business account. So what the bank told us to do then was that we should place a standing order on our revenue. So by placing a standing order on our revenue, so let's say for example, at the end of a business day, we were able to get 15 million naira. So our standing order is now placed on the account that okay, for every day we are saving 2 million naira. Now it seemed quite easy. Now we were able to do 2 million naira because of course our revenue was large enough, right? But imagine a business that is just doing say 30,000 naira per day, which is not bad, right? Say a standing order of 10%, 3,000. But we continue to do that. Pertinence is going to be 13 years this year. We have done that for a period of 10 years. And I can specifically tell you, by virtue of privilege, tell you specific projects that we bought with that savings. A good example is this Onwat Akunwojo building just beside us. The hotel project that we are currently making available, for purchase. It was bought with our savings. This shortlet that is beside us here as well was bought with our savings. And there are many other land locations like that that we purchased because we had savings. And so when we realized that, it became clear to us that for a profitable business, it is not just about saying you have assets. It's about also having enough cash base. Do you understand? So you can be having cash flow, you are selling. So all of us present here, you are realtors, you sell on our behalf, people sell in millions, but you are selling, you are bringing in the money and all of that. But we are not just considering the fact that, oh, at the end of the month, Pertinence sold 200 million. Because that money can go in and go out almost simultaneously if we don't have a structure in place for us to save. And seeing that that has worked immensely for us, we are now designing that same system to allow businesses to save. Is everyone with me? Now, I've used the example of Pertinence, a million naira business. We are doing savings in millions. But imagine a small business that does, say, 50,000 naira on a daily basis. Now, if you save out of your 50,000 naira, let's even say you save as low as 10%. Or if you do 500,000 on a daily basis, that is a very big business. So let me stick with 50,000. Now, let's say you save 10% on it. That's 5,000 naira, right? Now, for a business, you might not think that 5,000 naira is a big deal until you do 5,000 naira times 25 business working days. That will give you how much? Roughly 125,000 naira in that same month. Now do your 125,000 naira multiplied by 12 and then multiply it by a period of 5 to 7 years. You've already saved enough such that at the end of the day, all you just need to do is, oh, you have another opportunity, you want to expand your shop, you want to do this, you want to do that. You just simply need to go back to your base, your cash base, to make the investment opportunity. So basically, that is what Genius is presenting to people as an opportunity. Now, people will ask us that, oh, okay, how do you need to sign up? Sign up on Genius is completely free because we understand that we are not just working with small businesses, we are not just working with even big businesses. As small as a person who is selling on the roadside can save. And do we think that that is very possible? Of course, that is very possible. Now, we were doing the numbers one of those days, and how many of us use money points? You use money points, especially people that have businesses. A good number of businesses in Nigeria today either have a money point or an OPay account, right? Now, many businesses are ditching the traditional banks and are using these fintechs, the OPay and the money points. And then, if you even go to a malam that is selling suya, a malam that is selling suya can give you an OPay account. That don't worry, just transfer there. Now, it's quite seamless for them. Many of them still have their bank accounts, but because of how easy to use many of these accounts are, people are leveraging on it. Now, I said we did the numbers. Now, OPay gives you cash back, OPay gives you this, OPay gives you that. By the time we checked the valuation of OPay, OPay is currently valued in excess of 2 trillion naira. from simply just doing businesses with small businesses. Big businesses in often cases don't have an OP account. The big businesses don't have a money point. But the money of OP is coming from the person that is selling pepper. It's coming from the person that is doing that very small business. But profits eventually in business is about multiplier effects. It's not just about a one-time thing. If you are able to do a sale now and in the next 6 months you don't do sale, you will spend all of that money, right? But if you are ensuring that you are making the revenue, your revenue is growing on a day-to-day basis, your profit is increasing on a day-to-day basis, that is a profitable business. And that is what we are really particular about. How we can bring the same people empowerment, financial freedom system to help businesses be able to grow. And Genius is connected to our PettySave infrastructure. So it's easy for anyone, any business, whether you are registered on CAC or you are not registered, you can come on Genius and then begin to save. And our saving infrastructure is as simple as even 1% on your transaction. So it is not that you are the one that is trying to save on your transaction. The system automatically takes your 1% and it saves it into your savings account. Now, the advantage there is that for you saving, you get interest. Now, this is how it plays out. When we do our transfer on our normal commercial banks, if you do a transfer less than 10,000 naira, the commercial bank charges you how much? 6 naira. If you do between 10 and 50,000 naira, your commercial bank charges you around 10 naira. If you do in excess of 50,000, say to 200,000, your commercial bank should charge you 26 naira thereabout. And if you do more than that, you are looking at 50 naira, 100 naira, right? Now, if you do that calculation, you will discover that your commercial bank is doing at least 1% of your money. That's what your commercial bank is charging you for. Now, you might look at it that Shebi is just 1%. You don't know what 1% means until you multiply it by 1 million customers. And I'll give you a very good case in point. Sterling Bank at the start of April, so this is April, May, June, 3 months. Sterling Bank at the start of April made an announcement that they will no longer be charging for transfers, free transfer. Sterling Bank is the only commercial bank in Nigeria that does free transfers. So if you have a Sterling Bank account, you can transfer to any account without it. Now, it's not a problem. Everybody loved it. But immediately Sterling Bank announced it, CBN raised an objection. Now, CBN communicated to Sterling Bank. He said, we don't have a problem with what you have done, but this decision must not affect your balance sheet. So your balance sheet, the balance sheet of the bank is the combination of all of their assets, their cash in deposits, and then their loan instruments that they have. Now, to tell you that it's a big issue for CBN to have identified the loss of that single source of revenue. So it might not seem like a big deal to the person that has the account, but it's a big deal for a bank that runs millions of accounts and they are charging you per transaction. The multiplier effect is great. So we are now coming with a system where instead of losing that same amount of money, to the bank, you can now save the same for yourself and you will get interest on it. And basically that's what Genius is for. Now, how do our realtors, our agents come into the system? On the Genius app, you have the customer end and you have the business end. Now, like I've said, business in our own case is not that you have a CAC registration. Whatsoever business you are doing, you count as a business. So you can come on the app. Now, you being the agent that is interfacing, all you need to do for Genius is when you introduce a business to Genius, if the business has a CAC registration, you get 2,000 naira. Now, it's an upfront pay. It is not a commission paid on the basis of what the business did. It's an upfront pay. So if you bring a CAC registered business, you get 2,000 naira. If you bring a business that is not registered by CAC, you get 1,000 naira. If you bring a customer, you get 200 naira. Now the disparity is existing because it is the businesses that will save more as it compares to the customer. So you gain more by bringing businesses. And like I said, the business can be as large as it can be, and it can be as small as it can be. Now, that is the first side to the gain. The second side to the gain is that when this business begins their savings, so imagine the business that you have is doing savings on a daily basis of 50,000 naira. You are getting a particular percentage on the savings of that business, and it is perpetual. Now, don't think that we are running into a loss. We have done the numbers, so the numbers are adding up. So if the business, the more the business is saving, the more you are getting a percentage simply because you referred the business to Genius. And of course, because you are the agent, you get, and then you are the one that will attend our meetings with us. You get to interface with us and we give you updates on what we are doing with Genius. And then you can also assist the business in their savings and whatsoever it is that they are doing. So we've made the general announcement on the group to have realtors be a part of the system. All you need to do currently is that there is a group link. Makava, please help me to reshare the group link. To just click and join the group. That is basically it. We are going to be having a general briefing with the co-founders who are also the owners of Genius tomorrow by 7 p.m. And all of the details of Genius and every question that you might have will be answered on that, on that call. So I want to believe each and every one of us, as I'm seeing you here, you will be a part of the call. Even if you don't believe that it is possible, just even be a part of the call and listen in. And again, Genius is going to be the lead product for World Summits. And it will be to your advantage, especially if you are coming for World Summits, that you know about Genius, you are prepared for what is to come. A whole lot of things are in store. For example, we have a plan coming up, which is Mission 30, that in 30 days towards World Summit, we want to see number of agents that can bring in businesses. And for businesses and customers that you bring in, it qualifies you for a raffle draw. Of course, this is the 6th year of World Summit, so you know that when we talk about the raffle draw, you can imagine the kind of prizes that can be won, as much as a free plot of land, will be made available. So again, the call to action for us is that if you are still not on that Genius group, I want you to check any of the realtor platforms that you are on, click on the link and join. That is basically all there is to it. And just stay put as we make all information available. Thank you very much. So I want to entertain questions. You can clap for us. You can clap. So any question from our end? Any question? Okay. So on Genius, like I said, we are not building a real estate system, and we are trying to make it quite simple, right? So what we have currently with our real estate, there's upline, there is downline, and all of that. It's a little bit difficult to manage, realistically speaking. It is a little bit difficult, and it tells in sometimes delay with commissions and all of that. So what we are doing is a flat system where it's one agent to a merchant, one agent to a customer. If you bring fellow realtors to become agents, that is fair and good. But your business, your money really comes in when you recruit businesses and customers. So it is you, your customer, you, and your business. Basically, that's it. Yes, thank you very much. I was anticipating that question. So, so in the building of Genius application, there is the customer app and there is the business app. It's not a new system. MoneyPoint has MoneyPoint business, right? OP has OP business, Uber has Uber business. So when you are registered as a customer, you are registered on the customer app. When you are registered as a business on the merchant or the business app, you are registered as a business. Now, of course, the KYC verification is very different. So there is no way somebody can say, oh, because even if I don't have a business, I will just register as a non-business so that you get 1,000 naira instead of 200 naira. So the KYC verification is a whole lot different. So even if you don't have a CAC registration, there are some things that must still indicate that you have a business. So all of those things can be captured on the system. We have thought about it. So we know that that is very possible. We know that that's very possible. Any other question? So that I don't take. So I'm just using those examples because those are the things that we can relate with. Yeah. So it's a fintech application, it's a financial application, but it's focused on businesses saving, right? Customers come into the place, customer come in because customers will deal with the businesses. You can buy from the businesses and all of that. Yeah. So because um, the tech infrastructure of Genius is connected to the bank. So it's technically as though you are dealing with the bank. And of course, you know that the regulations of the bank, of the banking system, is entirely different from the real estate system, right? So the banks are controlled by CBN and NDIC. If withdrawal is not made, if withdrawal is not made possible on the app, then it's an issue of the customer, the app, and CBN. So it's much more easy. So the commitment to withdrawal and every other process is seamless because it's a tightly regulated system. Yes, because so in fintech, the fintech regulation of Nigeria demands that if you have a fintech system and you are collecting savings, you must be connected, you must have a banking license. OPay has a banking license. Moneypoint has a banking license. So you cannot run a fintech without a banking license. So that's how it works. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. So thank you very much for that question. So, like I said, when you want to run a fintech in Nigeria and you are collecting savings, you need a bank. Now, the banking infrastructure is necessary because you cannot take the savings of people, you cannot take people's money without the bank. Now, the withdrawal process is not funneled through PettySave itself, in that you don't need to go to PettySave to go and make the withdrawal. So PettySave creates the account back end for Genius, and your withdrawal is going to be done through Genius. Now, I don't want to speak to which one is much more efficient and all of that, but I think the advantage we have here is that we are speaking of the launch of the app almost 40 days to the launch itself. So you get to test the app yourself and you see how effective it is. So I don't want to speculate. I don't want to give you speculations around, oh, it's going to be perfect because somewhere you might not believe me. But you are going to make use of the app yourself and you will see what advantage or disadvantage that needs to be corrected on the system. I think that addresses the question. So thank you very much, everyone. Good morning once again.
A round of applause for our AGM. Clap for him now. I'm sure we enjoyed that. You saw the flow. Okay, moving on now, ladies and gentlemen. We have a panelist here, and of course, this session personally, I'm looking forward to it. Just to before we get into it, so one of our panelists came to the office yesterday. Was it yesterday, day before yesterday? And I had a conversation with him. And when we started speaking, like yo, so the thing about being in this space, particularly the real estate space, is that see, tell your neighbor you have so much power. Oh. It's like you don't know you do. You have so much power. Oh. Now, you can legit make my annual salary with a single deal. That's how much power you have as a realtor. And you still have your time to yourself. You know, as as maybe I don't want to say sad, but as it is, that's the reality. So Pertinence as an organization has been empowering realtors. Over the years, I've seen realtors make commissions in millions, made money from real estate, started up businesses, some relocated abroad, you know, for other major things, life transforming decision that money can do. And that was made available because they were realtors here. Now, these people who are bringing up, they were intentionally selected, right? intentionally selected, and we're very happy, we're very excited to have them here with us today. So I just want you to relax and be sure that you are going to enjoy this panel session. Tell your neighbor you are going to enjoy this panel session. It's like you are not sure. You don't sound like you are sure you will enjoy the panel session. You are going to enjoy the panel session. Okay, so one of the panelists also, Mrs. Olawale Victoria Gifted Hands, has been, one of the realtors that has been not just selling actively, but also building actively selling teams. Now you can build teams, you can gather people, and then it's not even enough to get people that will stick to you, and then they'll come with you to attend meetings, trainings, and then they will also sell. Right? She has actively been doing this over the years, and lately she has been doing it consistently. Now, not one, not two, not three, not four, and they are selling. So we're going to be learning from these people today. Have an open mind, get your jotter ready, get your pen. It may just be one thing you need to take from this panel that will change your sales game. Right? Here at Pertinence, we're interested in seeing you sell, right? Because people empowerment is our mantra here. And today's session is going to be an interactive one, exciting one, and an engaging one as well. Okay, so I know that we promised that the team members with the highest members present are going to be rewarded. So while you are seated here now, if your team member are not here, maybe they are on their way, text them, let them know that they can still join, right? We are looking forward to having them. We want this hall filled up. So let them know, text them, just drop a message so that they know that we're about to start. Of course, they can still join. Also, we're going to be rewarding our top selling realtors. You are going to be seeing some, how many of us are aware of the layer promo? Okay, there are people that have qualified. They're going to be taking away their rice and oil. You see them. In this economy, how expensive rice and oil is. Imagine having to earn commission and we're still giving you rice and oil. Yes. So the layer promo is still open. Take advantage of it. Push it. You never can tell. So that when next we gather like this, you'll be taking home your own rice and oil. So take advantage of the layer promo, the acre deal across all of the locations. We're going to be sharing them. Also, just so that we are aware, we have all of our products in a single drive, and the link has been pinned across all of our realtor groups, right? So if you need any information regarding all of our currently selling products, just go to any of the pertinence group you are in, click on it, you see the drive there. Any of our products, you get to access them, and then push them, earn commissions, and make good money for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we're progressing now, and before we progress, we have our GM in the house. Can we just turn and wave at him? Our general manager is around. A round of applause for Mr. Shenwo Debo Wale. Clap for him now. Make it louder. Yes. So we have our panelists also present. Let's have Mr. Henry Udofia stand, please. A round of applause for him. Please stand up, sir. A round of applause. I'm sure most of us know him. We also have Mrs. Olawale Victoria. A round of applause for her, please. A round of applause. Okay, so yes, thank you very much for honoring this invitation. Just to make you know that we're ready and set for you. We are all ready to extract and pick from today's session. A round of applause for all of us that are seated. Please clap for yourself for honoring our invitation here. So the reason why we're even gathered is because you are present. So a round of applause for yourself. Clap for yourself. This one is for you. Clap for yourself. Yeah, thank you everyone for honoring our invitation. We appreciate it. Please try to be present in our meetings. Check the group also for updates. We don't spam the groups anymore. We don't drop flyers or messages frequently, but every information that we share in the group, you can be rest assured they are important information. Any information you see in the WhatsApp group. So please, from time to time, do well to check the WhatsApp group. Also, we've started an engagement every week, right, where realtors get to share their stories, their experiences, particularly with selling. And then we usually reward the winner. We make it open, we run a poll, then every one of us seated here get to vote and decide who the winner is, and then we reward the winner. So this is me urging us all to be a part of this poll, and then so that we can have it more engaging, more interactive. Are we going to be participating moving forward? Or how many of us have been seeing those engagements? How many of us saw the stories? Did you enjoy the stories? We did not enjoy it. Some of us at the office, when we see read these stories, we're excited and happy. So please, we employ you to be, a part of this, actively participate in this so that you can also enjoy it now. So we're going to straight into the panel, and we have a moderator already present. Miss Lovina Ruby is going to be moderating the panel session. Round of applause for her, please, as she comes up to take it up from here.
Good morning. Good morning, billionaires. Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning, billionaires. Is it loud? Okay. Um, Good morning, billionaires. All right. I'm sure we are all wondering what the panel section is going to be about, right? Right? So today what we're talking about um the go to reach realtor, the secrets to relationship building. The go to realtor, the secrets to relationship building, and what you are going to be getting from the section we're having today is real life strategies on how you can improve on your realtorship journey for a realtor who's just starting out today or someone who is interested. What? Can you hear me? Richard, are we good? Eh? Okay. Okay, so what you'll be getting today, our topic is the go-to realtor, the secrets to relationship building. You'll be getting real life strategies to building trust, keeping clients coming back, and becoming unforgettable in the minds of your prospects. So I'm sure we've been seeing every month, realtors are being celebrated that they're closing deals, right? On our Pertinence WhatsApp group, right? We're all there now, she. Okay, so for as many of our realtors who are seated here, who are on our WhatsApp group, every single month, there are sales targets of
Check,
realtors who
check,
are
check,
able to close sales
check,
in
check.
pertinence, and they are always celebrated. And then I'm sure is on our minds that
Check.
in this tunable economy, there are still people buying land, right? And that's why, okay, that's why we are now having this panel section with one of our top sellers, two of them actually, and we who will be sharing their strategies, what they've been doing that's been working for them. So I'll be bringing with me first Mr. Henry Udofia, who is one of our pertinent top realtors that's been closing sales back to back. Please, can you jam your hands as he comes? As he comes, celebrate grace. Please jam your hands. You're welcome, sir. Please sit down. I'll also be inviting Mrs. Olawale Victoria, who is AKA Gifted Hands, who has been closing sales. Okay. All right. My, can you sit there? Okay. All right. So where's the other mic?
Test. Mic check 1 2.
Okay. Now, I hope we're with our pens and biros, and we're ready to write, right? There's something that he said that he who plans fails to plan has plans to fail, right? So, and we have invited Mr. Henry, and Madam Victoria to come and share what is working for them. Because I know that personally I've been seeing Mrs. Victoria's name pop up um in some months so far 2025, and I've reached out to her personally that how what was the game changer, what happened in the year 2025. And then for Mr. Enriudofia, he is always like it's God. So that's why we are having this panel section now, so that they can share with us the things that they are doing differently that can benefit you and I. See that I came with my own biro to write, even though I'm going to be moderating. So Mr. Henry, can we meet you? Can you share with us, introduce yourself, and tell us how long you've been with Pertinence?
Check, check, check. Good morning, everyone. My name is Henry Udofia. I'm a real estate consultant, real estate full time. I've been with Pertinence since the inception of Real Vest. So that's when I came in
Check, check, check.
into the Pertinence system, and it's been a very remarkable journey. It's been a very remarkable journey. Though it's got its ups and downs, it's not always rosy, but honestly, it's been a very good ride. It's been a very good ride. And there's something I always say: um, when you see, your belief system, when you feel or believe that money is something that is hard to make, honestly, the money will be difficult to make. But once you have that mindset that I can make money, you know, honestly, there's no way you want to make money. So it's always important that one is intentional about what you're doing. So far, that's what has led me, and that's what has. Though we'll go into all that, but it's been an amazing journey, and thank God for the Pertinence platform. Amazing company, amazing brand, amazing people. Thank you.
Can you clap for
Check,
him?
check, one,
Um,
two.
Madam Victoria, can we meet you as well? How long have you been with Pertinence?
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Olawale Victoria. Yeah, I'm a real estate consultant and also an advocate of vocational skills. Um, by the grace of God, I've been with Pertinent for a good 9 years now. I joined Pertinent in the year 2016 through a friend that invited me. Before now, I've been into, before 2016, have been a networker. I've worked with different organizations that has to do with, different all these herbal drugs and all this. I know I might have some of us here that have been in that game too. I've worked with different companies as a networker. And during the course of this journey, I met a friend who we have been into network together that introduced me to real estate. And the guy said, Mrs. Olawale, if you pick up this real estate business, you're going to close this your shop. That statement was like a reality today. And I want to thank God for Pertinent Limited, Pertinent Properties. It has been a platform that actually fulfilled that statement of people empowerment and enterprise development. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Ma. Please, can we clap for her? Thank you so much for that powerful introduction. Now, from what our panelists have told us, River started around 2019. Yes, and that was when Mr. Henry joined the team. And for Mrs. Olawali, that was around 2016, right? If we're going to calculate that, we saw that it was a good number of years. And then for Miss Olawali, I know that she was making some sales, but in 2025 was when you blew, or rather, when you blow. So now, I want you to share with us the power of relationship management. How important is relationship building in real estate sales? And why do you think some realtors overlook it?
All right. Thank you very much. That is a powerful question and is a good one we are starting with. By the grace of God, when you talk about relationship, everything is about relationship. Let me start with that. Everything, aside businesses, even our life, is all about relationship. And we know that life also begins with relationship. The first relationship was that of God and man, and that was the beginning. And then you notice that because of that, everything I said start with relationship. Now the fishes had a relationship with the water. The sea, the ants has a relationship with the sand. The earth on its own has a relationship with God the creator. So whatsoever you want to do in life is all about relationship. And when you come back to real estate industry, it's a platform where you cannot do in isolation. It's a business you cannot do in isolation. If you cannot build relationship, a cordial, peaceful relationship, you cannot move, you cannot grow, you cannot get to anywhere. When talk of real estate business, now the relationship is first. I said the one with God. Why? Because real estate is about God. God is the originator. The Bible says the earth and its fullness is what? Is of the Lord. So God is the author of real estate. He's the creator of real estate. So if you must excel in real estate, you must have a personal relation with God, the greatest realtor. Yes. So God is the first person in the business of real estate in creating. When you want to define real estate, you say real estate is buy is all about health and everything within it. And so when you want to talk about God, talk about God and everything within it, the earth and everything within it. So real estate is all about relationship, starting with God, then you continue with it. Now, when you are into real estate business, you must have that consciousness that you are partnering with God. You are into partnership with God to share the head for people. So your relation with God must be very, very cordial. You cannot live a life in isolation of God and you want to sell land that belongs to God. Do you get it? So you must have that first in your mind. Then relationship with men, human, because you want to deal with people, and that is why you can see our slogan as pertinent is people empowerment. Pertinent is the I can say is the number one real estate company that understood that statement of people, that part of people. And so our co-founders understood it early enough for them, and they made their vision to be around people. So you can see that you say all about people, it's always there. You can see it there. It is all about people. So it's all about relationship. So if you don't know how to relate with people, leveraging on your personality. What Dr. Lon Sheyi and Mr. Wisdom Ezekiel did is actually they leverage on their own personality and they build the business around people, and that was the beginning of the business. So when you want to talk about real estate, it's all about relationship, and you must be able to build it intentionally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. Can you also give a mic to Mr. Henry? How important is relationship building in real estate sales, and why do you think some realtors overlook it?
Thank you very much. That's a very valid question, and I'm going to make it very exciting for everyone. And I'm going to go a bit deeper into these conversations because a lot of times I see realtors, I see people sell, and the focus is just to sell, you know. But it's important we all understand something. Um, Relationship is another form of currency. Relationship is currency. If someone doesn't buy from you today, he will buy from you tomorrow. If someone is not good to you today, he will be good to you tomorrow. If someone doesn't treat you well now, would likely treat you well tomorrow. But how do you manage these things? How do you have these conversations? We sell and we focus on, oh, I've just made the sale. You know, that's even the relationship. That's where it begins. It's not just the selling. What happens later? What happens after that? That's some money I call free money. You know why I call them free money? Because it's the relationship that you have created, that you have built over time, that brings that money. It just naturally creates the money for you. You sell. There are a lot of things you can do after selling. Your clients should be part of you. It's not just about, oh, I've sold. Yeah, I've got my commission, I've got my incentives. Come on, there are a lot of money you can make from real estate. And it's broad. It's quite broad. Real estate is broad. It's not just from the land itself, but if you leverage on the relationship with your clients, with your prospects, irrespective of the fact that you've not even closed the deal yet, but if you leverage on relationship by building yourself, by being confident, a lot of times your prospect, your clients watch you. You know, over the years, over time, these are the things that has helped me. There are times in a week I close 10 deals, 10 and all different lines. Not that one client bought 2 apartments or bought 2 plots of land. 10 different transactions. How do you get to that point whereby you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, this following week I want to sell 5 plots, I want to do 5 transactions, I want to do 10 transactions. It's the mind. These things are possible. When I mean possible, they are very, very possible. And you just need to just sit down and ask yourself, how can I do these things? What are the things I need to do to create the atmosphere for these transactions to take place? If you sit down and look back and tell yourself, come on, that, this is not working, this is not working, these are the things I need to do. These are the comfort zones that are not helping me. You've sold land, you've done this, you've done that. What next? Do you know that you can help your clients? You can become an advisor to your clients, help them do a lot of things. But because you've been able to build the relationship, that's why it's very easy for them to call you and say, oh, come on. There are times clients will even see some properties, not directly from me, from other realtors, and will forward it to me, and ask me, Henry, what's your take on this? I think I like this. Please help me check this out. And I'll go and check, do my investigation, due diligence and all that. Then clients buy. Why? Because there's a level you have built over time, relationship you have built with them. But as time goes on, I'll go deeper and explain some of these things to you. But it's important to understand that relationship is another form of currency. And selling is not just, you know, you know, um, relationship is not built from the beginning. It's not just built from when you've made the sale. It becomes bigger, larger when you have, taken it further. A client might even buy a property of 5 million from you. And guess what? His friends will come and buy a property of 100 million from you. I have a client that he just bought one. But his friends, he referred. And and most times these referrals make your job very easy. You talk lesser. Your analysis are lesser. Why? Because you've done the major job itself. Even your friend have spoken on your behalf. I've had clients who actually came to the country to come and complain, make trouble. Why? Because of maybe one delay or the other. But immediately they get, you know, we are seated meeting and trying to talk about these things. And, in the conference call, I have about 3-4 of them on the conference call, all the way from UK and Canada, like friends like that. And you now hear some of them say, it's a lot by Henry. Henry, it's if he's sweet mouth by sir. You know, uh, you're not angry again. You're not upset because you've seen Henry. But before before we all agreed to have that meeting, everybody were agitated, we were upset. But now we're sitting, we're having these conversations, and they're all calm, and you start hearing the client that is upset. He's now telling the other ones that no, it's not like that, or it's not like that, no, won't your fault and all that. Why? Because there's this thing you communicate. So there should be a value you bring aside from just that selling. When your clients see you, how excited are they? How confident are they? I've had to review several times, survey, deed of assignment through DHL down to the UK and some other countries. I've had to fill forms. A lot of times I fill forms myself. Clients don't fill forms. They just send me the details. I ask, oh, okay, I need this, I need that. And they make it available. I fill the form, I submit it. So it's the relationship you would have built after the sales. Of course, during the sales, there are conversations and all that. But because there are certain things they've seen in you that gives them that belief, that confidence that, oh, come on, I like this guy, I trust this lady, I want to do business with this person. And it makes them stay. They stay. They stay. So it's important we understand that relationship is another form of currency. If a client doesn't buy today, or he buys one plot, or even does a transaction, maybe land banking, on 1 million naira, honestly, if you manage those relationships well, give it a few months. We're talking about millions, if not from him, to be from his family, friends, colleagues, and the rest of them. So it's important that we value relationships and we take them very seriously and tend to communicate with your clients consistently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful contribution. Please, can we clap? If we're going to do that, let's do it well. My second question will be, I think Mrs. Victoria, you would start. What has been your biggest breakthrough moment in building client relationship, and how has it changed your approach to real estate?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, before I answer that question, I would like to put this in place. Now, part of the first question was like, why does realtors shine away from relationship? I think something like that. Now, let me just start with that, and I will bring it in here to this second question, to the next question rather. Now, most times we realtors, most times we always after immediate benefits. Immediate. This guy is wasting my time. He's a time waster. I just cut it off. And when you start doing this to most people, you discover that you end up not selling. Now, most people shy away from building relationships because they felt they must always get from every relationship you have. See, one of the things we should have in our mind is that for every relationship you find yourself in, and firstly, when you talk about this language relationship, what do we even really mean? This language relationship is like we are using it. It seems to look like a big word. What is that relationship we are really talking about? We're talking about your character, the way you relate with people, your manners, your ways of communication, your ability to show to people that you are trustworthy in your conversation when you communicate, how you relate with people. So, either young or old, either client or no client, how do you relate naturally? What can people say about you when you are talking? When people look at you, what can they read about you? A minute conversation with somebody, what will somebody say you? Who will somebody say you are? Now, that's what we are talking about, these terms relationships. I need to break it down to that level. Now, when you now talk about you not really, ignoring your aspect of fellowship, talking to people, relating with people, you must know that in every relationship you will find yourself, be ready to give more. If you're after getting from people more than you giving, you be end up not having an LD relationship with people because everybody wants to receive. That is our mentality. Our mentality is that everybody just wants to receive. Even a little child that you give a biscuit now, right now, will come back, and if you tell that baby, give me back, you find that baby telling you no. Give him another one. He will stretch his hand instantly to collect another one from you. So that is the way we are being tailored. That is our mentality. But as a realtor, you must have a new mindset to always give than receiving. Have that in your mind. So what are you giving to a relationship? You are giving value. You are educating people. You are helping people. If your mindset is to help, if your mindset is not to just get, pay, let me collect this money. And then this man should pay this money. I need this commission. And after that commission, you end up, not really doing the needful. So it goes beyond you just selling, just like what my colleague have said. It's just you building relationship with all intentionality, ready to give into it. Now, let me now go back to the question the moderator asked me. Thank you very much for that question. I'm going to use an instance. As at November last year, there was a particular deal Was it November? Yes, last year precisely. There's a particular deal that's supposed to be closed. That deal was a sales of an acre that was that was sold at 2.5 million per acre. Now, a guy just chatted me up and said, "Sorry, the guy forwarded the flyer to me and said, 'Hello, please tell me about this.' I started talking. Then at a point, I asked him, 'Sorry, how did you get to know about this property?' He said, 'No, no, no. You will know about that later.' So I gave him all the update and he asked me, 'What is the commission I'm to get?' I said, 'You didn't tell me how you got this information, but you get 6% commission.' So at the long run, we're talking. Meanwhile, there is a particular woman in my team that actually told me he has related this offer to somebody in abroad, that I should just be expecting the details, that the person happens to be our immediate sister. I said, there is no problem. The woman happens to be an elderly woman. And I said, oh, you are doing a great job. There's no problem. So now this guy was now communicating me. I was like, okay, there's no problem. Now he came to inspect the property. He did a lot of bringing somebody for inspections and all that. Now, along the line, the guy was just pressurizing me. Yes, give me this document, give me this document. I said, see, this line in question, you are coming into this property because we are just acquiring it. And it's not something that the documents are available now. But it was just questioning me. The client is not that kind of person, no. She will not give attention. I said, sorry, Madam Oga. At that moment, 1.5 million has been paid into that account. I'm talking about relationship now. Okay, so that 1.5 million has been paid. I said, Oga, please, I will refund your money. If you will not give me space, please just get this money. When everything is ready, you can come back. Meanwhile, I have gotten the form of the clients, the details of the clients that bought the property was actually with me. So, he came later on. I got to know that he was actually making requests on behalf of somebody. So I said, okay, there's no problem. So at that moment, I said, I will refund this money. He said, okay, refund the money, refund the money. So I refunded the money. It was like, you have lost a deal. That experience has lost it. I'm talking about the place of trust and all that. So I let it go. Later on, I got to know that this woman that told the cousin happens to be the person. It was the cousin that sent the guy, to come and make inquiry about the property. So along the line, after the whole blah blah, the lady now called. He has gotten our contact. So she called me and said, "Hello, madam. See, I'm talking about November, December now." She said, "Madam, this so." I said, meanwhile, I needed to communicate her via the line, the number, because to notify that so the money has been refunded to you. So and the receipt given to you is also invalid. That was my conversation, and that was it, the end. So later she now called to me and said, uh, this guy supposed to act as a client, not as an agent. That it was even the cousin that's supposed to have that commission. No, that I said, there's no problem. At least that deal, we have refunded the money. Now, recently, the lady now called me and shouted me and said, I want to buy that same land. Said, I noticed, woman, that you are genuine. Said, I noticed you are genuine and I want to come back. Said, it was that agent, it was that guy that discouraged me not to buy the land from you, but I'm ready now to buy. Say, madam, what's the price of the land? I said, sorry. This land you want to buy now is now 2 million per plot. You were supposed to buy 6 plots for 2.5 million. She said, madam, what can you do? I said, sorry, I cannot do anything. It's just that you have lost that offer, but that is, are you sure it's the same location? And blah, blah, blah. That was the story. And at the end of the day, she had to buy just 3 plots for 6 million naira. Because a discount of offer of Ileya promo was, Now, what am I really trying to say here? Now, the woman came to me and said, Madam, I trust you. And I know you will not, I don't know her, I've not seen her, but I just know that you're not going to disappoint me. You're not going to fall my hand. I said, by the grace of God, I said, the way you were talking, I knew. It was just in conversation. Now, what am I really saying? That was the deal that really, really, I was like, wow, somebody that have collected 2.5 million for a whole 6 plot. I was able to get 6 million for what? 3 plot. Now, what am I really saying? Mr. Harry said something. He said, that person may not buy now. but he will definitely buy tomorrow. So we should always look forward towards tomorrow, not now. So when you are dealing with people, don't be after immediate benefits. Build beyond sales. Communicate beyond sales. Another example was a deal. I didn't close that deal, but it was a woman on my street that actually who knew that I'm into real estate. And she just chatted me and said, "Hello, Miss Olawale. There is a sales that my brother in Canada wanted to do, and the land is in Ekpe." I said, "Ekpe, okay. Tell me more about." I said, the brother wanted to pay that there is a promo that will be closing in that 3 days to that time. But the brother chatted him and said, "Please help me make inquiry." He said, "I don't know anybody, but I know a woman on my street that is into real estate." So he chatted me up. And I said, "Okay, ask the company to send you the CFO that they claim to have and the document." So I chatted up a lawyer, my company lawyer, and I said, "Okay, this is what is happening. Can we make inquiry?" Now, at that moment, they were to pay 30,000 naira for that search. But because of the level of trust, the lawyer paid on my behalf, even when I've not communicated it. Now, by the time I communicated it, the buyer, that uncle, said, that money is too much. Oh, I can't pay that money. This. I said, "There's no problem if you cannot pay. You can forget about it." Meanwhile, my lawyer has paid. The search was already on. I said, "You can forget about it." There's no way. Along the line, they were like, the lawyer was so in haste because of the relationship I had. Is it not Mrs. Olawale? The promo was to end on Monday. This is a weekend, so it was a Thursday they communicated me. So they needed to do that transaction to confirm that genuity of that property. Now, along the line, we got to know the result now came in on a Saturday. They have those told me they are no more interested. But the payment, I have to pay that lawyer that 30,000 for my account. Now, by the time we got the results, we discovered that that CFO has been used for collateral. And the land has a court case. Now, this brother that contacted her, two of his friends have already paid for that ekpe, for that land. Now, by the time I forwarded the information, they were like, oh, thank you. But today, they didn't pay the 30,000. Where am I going? I did that search for them without. I know I'm not going to be benefit. I know even if it comes out positive, they will make the payment to that complaint. But I was able to save them from for that transaction. Now, what am I saying? After the end of that conversation, the deal, the lady called me and said, "My brother said anytime I come to Nigeria, I want to meet that lady. He hasn't come to Nigeria, but there is a seed that has been sown." Now, this is the way you are expected to do your business as a realtor. People should be able to look up to you as a consultant. Either the property is coming from your complaint or not. We should be able to confide in you and should be able to be a solution provider. So that is those two scenarios I can share to let you know that real estate business is a business you need to do like a savior. Do it like a savior, and that is where your money comes in. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma. Wow. I hope we're getting value for our time. Okay, Mr. Henry, I would like you to also share how what your biggest breakthrough moment in building client relationship has been and how it has changed your approach to real estate.
Thank you very much. There are quite a number of them. I don't know which of them to share. Um, you know, about lines from one transaction to 9 transactions, just from one client. About lines from one transaction to 8 transactions. Um, about lines from one transaction to 4 transactions within weeks, within a space of weeks. So, um, what has the things that made this thing happened quite fast, or happen within a space of 1 year, 6 months, a few weeks, has been basically the way I respond to them, the way I treat them, the way I solve their problems. I don't wait for a company to want to do a general allocation before I start ensuring that they get their land allocated to them. I ensure that the company has already started doing their um, parcellation. They've done the necessary documentation. I go ahead of time. I don't wait for them to start asking me. Except I genuinely know that there is one or two things that will make it not happen as quickly as I want. You know, Plot establishment and all that. So many times, like yesterday, I got a mail from a company that they've allocated my client's plots to him. And what happened? It wasn't yet time, but because I wanted to ensure that these things were done as quickly as possible, you know. So and within a space of less than 3 days, I got that mail after I had paid and all that. This was just 2 days ago. Yesterday was the day for yesterday. Um, so it goes beyond just for instance, now I'm going to tell you a client who bought between um late December last year and April has bought 9 properties. One person. Between late December, that's after Christmas, and April, he has bought 9 properties. And one of the things I did was during his birthday, the wife happened to know me, you know, that in diaspora. The wife happened to know me through her husband, though. And she called me one night and said, I was on the road. She called me and she said, Mr. Henry, how are you? Her dad is turning 60 years old, though. He said he doesn't want an elaborate birthday. They're in the UK, they're not in Nigeria, yeah. That they wanted to do so that the children planned something, exciting that are reaching out to his pals, his close friends, families, and each person they're asking them to do a 1 minute video, say something nice about daddy, you know, and we'll all compile the videos together and play on the screen for him, for him to watch, that's he would really love it to go a long way. And that day I got home past, and I was not even on the mainland, I was on the highland. Um, I was coming from Abeokuta. So I happened to get to Elerongbe around past 11 in the night. So I had to sleep at Elerongbe. That's okay, go Elerongbe if you know those areas. So I quickly showered and I was really tired. I said, okay, let me quickly do this. So I did the video, and within 1 minute, I said a lot of nice things about him. I sent it to the wife. So the following morning, she responded. She said, thank you so much, Mr. Henry. Daddy will love this. I said, Daddy is not even expecting this at all. You know. Then on his birthday, after his birthday, like after the whole celebration, like he called me and said, "Hi, Henry. Thank you so much. That he saw what I did though. You know, may God answer your prayers." As in, he was very excited and all that. That single act, just that single act, you can imagine the effect it had on him personally. You know, you're an inspiration to us. Since you came in, you've been a blessing. I just spoke nice things about him. And between that time and April, he has bought 9 properties. You know, now, and these properties are not, these are in millions I'm talking about, not below 1 million. You know, that's each of them I'm talking about. You know, the other ones, you know, just because of the way I break down documentation, I explain real estate terms, even with their lawyers seated. There's way you talk, the lawyers know that this one knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's saying. Lawyers have no objection. What else again? What else do you want? You've asked for the documents. I've shown you. Yeah, go and chat. You've chatted. You've asked me to explain. Do this. I've done everything. And with confidence. There are times I'm tense. I remember there was a particular one. She came with a lawyer and the surveyor, and they were just bombarding me like that. And that day there was heavy rain. So the land itself, the building, because it was apartment, the person wanted to buy. It was a lady. So when a young lady that has money came in a very big car, a lawyer, surveyor, immediately I entered the car. Uh, She didn't tell me she was coming with a lawyer and surveyor. But when I entered the car, I saw them. So she now introduced them. I was thinking maybe that one is her brother or husband. He said, "Oh, that's my. I see this foundation. Why is it like this? Ah, the place is swampy. Look at water everywhere. Nobody sporting that day. You know, me is against three person. So I was calm. I started breaking it down one after the other. And when I was done, I asked, is there another thing you'd like me to clarify? Say, okay, you mentioned landmark. You said the airport is coming. But I'm not seeing any airport. You said Dangote is coming. I've not seen. Where are these places? Can you show me? You mentioned Alao City. Where's Alao City? She has not been to Ekpe before. She doesn't know what she has been hearing and all that. So I said, okay, let's get into the car. Let's go. Let me take you there. So we go into the car. That's after we finish from the land, from the site. She didn't tell me. I didn't know that it was one apartment she wants to buy. I was just doing my job. I showed her our city. She was impressed. You mean this structure is there? Okay, where is Pan Atlantic? Where is the Dangote? Where is the airport? I said, this is where we're going to have the airport. She said, really? But I'm not seeing. Are you sure it's going to happen? I said, don't worry, man. Just give it. You see, very soon you see the airport and all that. I sold the future to her. Today, do we have Dangote refinery?
Yes.
Now, it's important that when you're having conversations, you must know what you're going to sell. Product knowledge is very important. Why am I not doing piling? Why am I doing raft? Why am I doing strip and all that? If you ask these questions, can you respond to them? What if the person is coming with an engineer, a building engineer? I've had clients that I had to go and do structural tests for them. Yes, structural tests for them. I know how much we spent. We spent, hundreds of thousands to do that test. But when I gave the advice, and at first it was like the money was much, and we did it, and she saw the importance of that. So it's not just selling in itself. You can help your clients with their documentation, with their building approval. You can help them to fence the land. Oh, I could fence the land for you. Okay, you know what? Let's fence. This is a half plot. This is a full plot. Let's not use six inches blocks here. Let's not use 9 inches blocks here. These are the size of blocks we're going to use here. You explain this to them. So let's start the fencing from here. We need to do setbacks. Okay, there are plans for demolition from the government. And so far, I don't know if you heard about some demolition. They want to do along the Lekki, the coastal road. Even the other ones that they want to just to expand the road to and all that. So you need to explain to them why that needs to be done and why they're going to happen. Oh, anyway, I saw this. So there are plans to do this. Oh, are my plots affected? Are the estates affected? I said, no, sir. Now, these are the reasons why they're not affected. We have this also documentation. And for the fencing, look at, we have these setbacks already. So if the government, if they want to do this, they won't get to this point. This is where they're going to stop. This is where your own fencing starts from. You get what I'm trying to say? So you've got to be professional. That's why I said I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to make you understand why there's some money that should not go away from you. Oh, give me a quotation to fence the 2+3 plots. That's over 3 million quotation. You make at least if you don't get if you don't see anything, at least you say like 300K. That's being fair. So real estate is broad, it's deeper. I have clients I do their building approvals for them. And what would really make a client to just send you money and send you stuff like that to help them manage. I have clients that have to furnish their apartment, the old duplex. I furnish it from scratch to finish. Buy the ACs, put the air conditioning, the kitchen, the gas, and the rest of them. The bed. Is that no extra money? I've sold the property. I've earned good commission on it. Now after doing that, the same clients will go further and see buy, like that part, like the one for the that came with a lawyer and the surveyor. She bought two apartment the following day because she still sent the lawyer to come to the office to come and do like, oh, let me see, because she asked for the office address, and all that, which is normal. I was relaxed, I was confident because I've done a good job. And there, when the lawyer came, he called her and said, oh, I'm here, you know, all is good, pay. She paid for 2 apartments. 2 weeks later, few weeks later, she bought extra two. She bought extra two, and after that, she has done other transactions too. I talked about the client who had to buy, who bought a house because of a church. I was able to figure out that she was a spiritual person. She was someone that was attached with this religion thing. The person is CAC. Love the person. If it's what they call it, don't feel, oh, I am a deeper life. That's what I'm saying. I am this. This person is this. It's not that. Oh, he's a Muslim. No. Find out what's important to them. Find out, how your clients that, what made her to even come into real estate was because of the accident she had. And she said she cannot just be driving big cars. That let her invest in something that, is solid, something that, irrespective of what happens, there's value. It doesn't depreciate. Now, when people, are not seeing you, they're not seen, as in you're not visible to them. Not that you're not posting, no. Not that you're not posting. Now, I'll use a story that happened recently to expatiate this. I think I mentioned this yesterday. I talked about this yesterday. Um, I was somewhere yesterday, so I was asked to lecture, to talk, to um, to motivate some realtors yesterday, where I was. I went to go there yesterday. Um, so there was this client. Okay, let me tell you what happened after, before I go back to the story. So far, he has ended up buying about 6 plots of Erie. How much is a plot in Erie? So you can do the maths. Excuse me. Though he's on a 12-month payment, so he's not paying like bulk and all that. Um, he called me one night. And I was not home. He called me one night. My phone rang and I picked and I saw Truecaller brought it out. Engineer Ayobami. So he's an engineer. So my mind was like, oh, this one, if it's land though, I must be prepared to answer questions because he would likely knows what he wants to get. So when he called, he started asking questions, and so I noticed the wife too was talking on the background. They were driving. I heard the sound of the car and all that. Then he said he has been to the site. As a matter of fact, that he's just driving out. He's in Mowe. He's coming out of Bluestone. He was very specific. Now, he wanted to buy an estate on that lane close to Erie. It wasn't Erie he wanted to buy. And it was his friend that took him there. His friend is a realtor. And he said he has known the friend for 10 years. Now, it's important we take note of these things. As realtors, don't be greedy. As consultants, don't be selfish. Be honest enough to tell clients or prospects the way it is. Even if you have a lot to lose. Because at the end of the day, if that transaction doesn't go well, it's still you. If it goes well, it's you. But if it doesn't go well, and you have done something you should have not done, and it gets to find out later, what happens? A relationship that would have led you to, because through him alone, his younger brother bought 2 plots. His friend Bukola bought again. The wife just paid for Ere last week. Now, his friend told him that he pointed at Ere because he liked Ere is at the front of when you drive into Bluestone, you see Ere first, right? He said he likes Ere, and the friend told him Ere is sold out, that Ere is not available. And was insisting that he buys the other company's own, the other place. And he said, but I'm going to do more than one plot. And I'm buying to build. I'm not buying to. And the friend was like, I know that. So he now asked, what's the payment plan? The friend says outright, you have to pay it once. And the money was bulky because those guys are selling like above 20 million naira for a plot. You know. So his wife now told him that honey, let's pause. Hold on. So tell your friend, and he said the friend was putting pressure on him. A realtor. As in, he was telling me after the transaction had been closed, after he has bought from Pertinence. He was now narrating to me what happened and all that, you know. So that was when he now went. This is where I'm driving to. When I asked, how visible are you? Do people find you? Do people see you? Now you must take that part very seriously. You know, a lot of times I see realtors just, you just pull yourself to one side. Like you want to run this pattern. There's nothing wrong to run this pattern and that pattern, but find out what works. And there's nothing wrong for you to expand, to like, grow your niche. Okay, fine. Okay, I've been doing this. At least I've sold one plot. This plot, fine. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. But don't you want to sell more plots? Is it just one plot, one, two plots, three plots you want to sell? You can't just be excited selling one plot, two plots. How is that going to sustain you? You know, and you know that's another thing again. When you're not talking about leads, you generating leads, you get frustrated. And please, leave your family people alone. Leave your brother, your sister, your family people alone. Just focus on the job. The people that needs you, where your money is not with your brother and your sister. It's not with your uncles. The people that would buy from you are the people you don't even know. About 90% of my clients are people I've never met before. There are people I've never met them before. The first day I saw some of my clients was after they bought like 8, 9 properties. You know, when you earn commission, just don't spend everything now. Take part of it, invest back into that thing that gave you the money. You sold a property of 10 million, 50 million. You've earned some millions in commission. Even if it's 1 million naira, invest back in yourself, improve yourself, go for courses, learn digital skills. And these are things that will help you. These are things that will help you to stay relevant. These are things that will expand you, that will make people to start seeing you better than the way they were seeing you before. A lot of us don't even buy gifts for our clients, for your clients. You made money at commission. No, why should I? Most of the gifts I collect from Rivers, even from the office, Pertinence, most of my incentives, except is something like rice, something that that I can consume, that I don't give out. Like I collect car rugs, car carpets, mugs, and the rest of them. I give them out. I don't keep them. I'm about to buy wrappers for my client's wife. When you give a woman wine, give her wrapper, give her granuts in front of her husband. Mommy, take oh, this is for you. Henry, you shouldn't have bought that. No, no, Abba, mommy. I'm just seeing it for the first time. Ah, that's very thoughtful. God bless you, my son. God bless you. We got to site. The woman saw the land and she was fighting her husband. There and there. Was fighting her husband. What happened? I thought it was even an issue. I didn't even know. The husband now came and said, see, mommy is fighting him. That, who there so for me? This place is fine, no. Who they like the location. You go find that. Who there so for me? Even no matter see now. She was telling her husband that, why didn't you tell me you wanted to buy? Me too, I would have bought. She was upset with her husband. Her husband did not tell her that he was buying that location. That she too, she wants to buy. She wanted to buy. But as at the time, you know, she came down, the land was like double the price. That property is 32 million for a plot now. And he bought it lesser than that. So relationship is not just that immediate. You must learn to delay gratification, invest in yourself, buy gifts for your clients. Buy them gifts. How much will it cost you Sometimes I collect hampers and I just go and hand it over to them. There were some incentives for clients that I collected. As a matter of fact, I told the client, I snapped it, I sent it to him. Then I kept it in my wardrobe up so that my children will not go there. I mean, I maybe rats. I kept the hamper and the other things there. Few months later, after I came to Nigeria, I gave it to him. He was like, Henry, you still have this? I said, yes, I kept them for you. And he was very happy. What happened? He now took some fruits written inside and said, take, love for our mommy. And guess what? Before he left, he transferred 75,000 Laura chocolates for our baby me. If I go for inspections, allocation for some clients, the lowest they sent me, the one I went recently, he sent me 100K. After I've done I went and got his paper, did the allocation for him. It was even the company's boss that took me. I did not that I spent my own money and all that. But after I did that, I did videos and I forwarded to him that, oh, this is the land, though. These are your documents and all that. Next thing I'll do a DHL, I'll DHL them to him. He wired 100K. So these are different clients. On my birthday this year, client bought me stuffs, perfume, jeans, shirts, footwear, bought stuffs for my wife and the kids. What did I do? I went to wine with Pertinence and customized bag. There was a wine inside. There was and this diary that I was given, just wine, a red wine and diary. I didn't keep the diary. Just those two things inside the bag. And I handed it over to her. Guess what? She said, Henry, I should be the one giving you these things. I said, no, ma. That please, that it's not, that it's small. Mommy, I appreciate it. That was just what I did. And guess what? It is well. See, it's important to build relationships. It's very important to build relationships. Let me quickly touch what I was talking about the other time. Now, he went online to go and search for Ire because his friend was telling him not to buy, that Ire was sold out. So he went online to search only for Ire. He went to Google and typed Ire Bluestone. He wasn't looking for any other property. There were about 10 properties in that Bluestone or more. But it was intentional. He wanted to buy Ire. That's why what his friend was saying. What happened? When people come to find you, when people come to find that same property you are pushing, you are selling, what's the probability that they will find you when they type that location? How visible are you? Can they find you? And that was the beginning of that transaction. He went and typed Ire. He said the first three he saw was, he clicked on it, Henry. It was like, it wasn't my name there though. You understand? But he saw similar thing. He went to the second one. Google, when you type this thing, Google will bring like different pages. Yeah. So he went on the first one, second one, the third one. He said, so let him just stick with this one. And it was the same thing he saw. And that was when he called me and reached out to me, and that was how we closed. That transaction was an 1 hour, 1 hour talk. As in the space of 1 hour that I closed the deal. He paid for it, sent me the receipt on WhatsApp. This one I've never met before. Started with 2 plots, and he has done 6 already. Now, what did I do differently? I was visible. Now, secondly, I told him, because he asked me about documentation, and that's another thing again. A lot of times we don't, because I've heard people say, why is it not all inclusive? The company should have put everything all inclusive. If the company did not put it all inclusive, you put it all inclusive by yourself now. But better still, just communicate it the way it is. So what are the extra fees? Sir, 3 million naira or D&D, but you need to pay 30% to get allocation. You spread the balance, and once you have completed that, that's after the land, then you get your documents. He said, oh, really? That it works? Yes, sir. And he was excited. So I have 12 months to pay for D&D after payment for the land. I said, yes, sir. And that was it. So selling goes beyond beyond just that first interaction, just that first contact. There are a lot of things you can help your clients do. That's some money I call free money. That's some money that you should not miss. Jobs like simple things like plumbing and rest of them, just help them fix it. You don't have to be there. Or have a plumber that can do that for you. You just call your plumber, she sends you the money, you get that done. I had a clients that they were to do clearing for the land. They wanted to use machines to clear the land, but the machine had issues, so they had to use Aboki manual to clear the land. So the money she paid, she didn't have to, as in the company did not have to use all the money since it was now manual. They wanted to refund to me because they know me because I'm very reliable. And I said, no, hold on. I called her and I said, ma, we are no longer doing machine, no. We are doing manual clearing. So the money is now like 70, 80,000. So you have an excess of 130,000 there that's going to be refunded to you. So like, really, you know, let them give it to you. I said, no, man, no. It's your money, man. He said, no, 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 what? Before, before less than 2 hours, she had sent a mail to the company. She included my account details in the mail and told them that, please, oh, this was the exact words she used. She said, Henry has been very good to me. He's someone I've not met before. She said, Henry has been very good to me. Please, the 130,000 balance from the land clearing, pay it to Henry. It could have cost me nothing to have said, oh, send me, no problem, I'll just send my account details, or probably they'll just credit me. But I said, no, they should hold on. Let me inform her. So that's the area of trust, that's the area of transparency, that's the area of integrity. So I could go on and on and on because there are quite a number of them, quite a number of experience. But it's important to note that there are a lot of people that surround your clients. If your clients might come and just give you 1 million naira, do a transaction of 1 million, but he has people around him that can do a transaction of 200 million. But if that client is not managed properly or is not treated well, do you think he will start telling? I had a client that called me from UK and she said her name is Abigail. I said, well, I said, oh, good afternoon, ma. We talked and he said, Henry, I got your number from a friend in church. He said he got a number from a friend in church, a church member. And she used one word. She said, Henry, you came highly recommended. When somebody has told you you came highly recommended, do you want to spoil it? Somebody has used that statement, that sentence for you. You came highly recommended. What are you supposed to do? You ensure that you package it very, very well. So the client I had to do tour. I did tour all the way from Boys Town. From the in front of the duplex, I did a tour down to where I found our church. A very big church because I wanted to give her something of a standard, something that's come from abroad. Of course, you won't go and look for one small ministry. You have to look for something of, that will. And I parked the car. We got in front of the church. I turned the camera to the church and I showed her. I said, "Is this your church, ma?" He said, "Wow. How do you know that?" And that was how the deal closed, though. Property worth millions. A duplex. So that was how I closed that deal, the transaction. Because after Pastor had said the location, this is Boys Town. Is Boys Town not in Lagos State? It's in Ijebu Ode. And Pastor said that place is not in Lagos. That is very far away from Lagos. And she said she said the Olusho is someone she trusts very well. But I didn't let that get to me. I had to think, and I had to think very fast. I had to think very fast. I had to go to her WhatsApp status, see the kind of things she likes to post. I'd gotten her name. I went to Facebook, check, do a research on her. After I closed that transaction, she now came and sent me a friend request on Facebook. And after that, what else? She has bought 8 properties. After just that duplex that she bought. The duplex was the first transaction, but she has bought 8 additional properties. So it's important that we understand that selling is not just, oh, I like selling, I feel like selling, selling is part of me. What really makes, when your clients speak about you, what do they say? How excited are these people about you? When they want to discuss you or when they're having conversations about real estate, when your name pops up or when it gets to that part, Bobo Henry, Bobo, we'll try, we'll try, we'll try. I have some clients in diaspora, the way they talk, you just be laughing. They have this way of talking, you know. But honestly, it's very important to build relationship. We cannot overemphasize the importance of these things because selling is not just for the immediate, it's the future. And please, things are changing. The times are changing. 500K a month is small money. I don't know who's with me. Am I lying?
No, sir.
Cost of feeding and all that. When my school sent my son's school fees resumption, this thing, almost 400,000 naira. A small boy. And I have 3 children. You know, there's a level you get to that you start seeing that there's a certain kind of money that is small. Some years back, they were big, they were important. But as time goes on, you start seeing that I can't continue collecting this. So you build your mind, you build yourself, you build that capacity, you create it. If I'm doing one plot, no, I can't continue with one plot. Even if you don't have responsibility, create the responsibility. Look for someone, if there's nobody you're paying school fees for, look for someone, your niece or cousin or your neighbor's daughter. Look for someone that the parents cannot pay school fees. Be the one paying the school fees. Create that responsibility. It makes you more hardworking, makes you think. And a lot of this money you can make, that'll be coming consistently, and monies that like you have done the work for them already. I have some income that comes in from RealVest, some other real estate platform. Those are those are fintech ones. I don't do anything. I think this morning now, today I've seen like 3 transactions. A lot on my wallet. A lot. They just come in pop. Reverse debits, reverse credits, credits, credits. About credits, credits. You see the other one, credits. This is different from the other ones. So this one is just the one that I sleep, those money that come in without you doing anything. But I've done the work for them before. I've created it. So you have to think broader. What are the other ways, other things I can do, even within the real estate sector? All these are still land. There's documentation, there is this thing. And again, you look at the Pertinence platform. Pertinence has created quite a number of them that one can leverage. The hotel is there, Reverse is there, the other ones are there, the fishery is there, the land itself it's there. About five, 6 of them. The shortlets are there. So if you are intentional and you look around these things and you start building capacity around them, leverage on them and all that. Before you know, you just be lying down and and you're seeing money coming in. This is aside the bigger ones I'm talking about. These ones are just money you make while you sleep. While you're making the other major money, the other ones. So real estate is broad. Please let us not just look at just that land we sell. There are lands there. There are houses. There are shortlets. There are investments. There's homewards. There's RealVest. You can do what do you call it? You know, if you decide to think beyond a lot of these things, you can help your clients with their most of their building stuffs, approval, land fencing, house decoration. You can turn to what do you call it? Event what do you call it? Interior decor. Even if you can't do the job yourself, you just collect the contract, give it to tell someone to do this thing for you, and you guys discuss, and you make money from it. Why would the client want to do something and you that sold the house, you are going to go and Your client is giving it to somebody else. You that have the house keys. I have a lot of clients. Their house keys are with me. Their duplex keys are with me. So please, relationship is another form of currency. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, can we clap? Please do that very well. Wow. I got so much from just this one question that we asked. You know, as he was talking, he was answering some of the other questions that I've even asked. And one of the things I got was that he would buy gift for his clients, you know. So that means as a realtor, you should know the birthday dates of your customer. So it doesn't just end from when they are buying land. It doesn't just end from, oh, you have collected your documents, thank you for coming. No, you still go as far as knowing their anniversary dates, knowing when they are coming into the country. You know, he talked about how he was thinking fast on his feet when that woman posed the problem that our pastor said, oh, that place is not Lagos. And you know, why in Nigeria, a lot of people will listen after God, they will listen to their pastor first, right? And he said he created a walkthrough video um from our church down to where the property was, just so that she will know that it is still within Lagos. And then he went as far as researching the customer. Can you see all the things that he did, just in terms of building client relationship? And for Miss Kolawale, she talked about how a client said, oh, I am interested in this property, can you help me check it out? It was not her business, but she told her lawyer friend to go ahead, do the search, and she gave her candid opinion, paying for it from her pocket. So these are the ways we are building, relationship. Another thing I got from what he said was that he knew the product. There are times where a client will not tell you, oh, I'm coming with my grandfather, my father, my mother, and he went there prepared, answered all their questions, told them all the things they needed to know about that property. So you cannot be here and you're just saying, how will I make this end meet that these people are talking about? He has also advised that it doesn't just have to be only lands you are looking at. There are other opportunities around real estate that you can do on the side, that you can research. There's interior decoration, there's shortlet. Real estate is broad. You can decide that, oh, aside from just the documents the client is getting from property, I will go a step further in helping them fence their property, in looking for the artisans that they will need, for all of these things. Please, I don't know about you, but I'm getting value for my time in here. So another question I would have asked, I think that question has already been answered, is it was going to be that um how do you maintain long-term relationship with your clients beyond a sale? And you already mentioned that by noting down their, yes, the days when they are celebrating their special occasions, you know being there. So you're still catching up on your clients. You're sending a message, a happy new month message to them. I just wanted to greet you. I hope you are fine. How are things? I heard this news happening in the UK. I hope you are okay and your family. Just in order to build still. So I was going to ask this question: what strategies has helped you turn one client into repeat investors? So you mentioned how one customer has bought like 9 property. So what's that saying? Is it just that you have sweet mouths, or or is grace? Another thing is grace. You need to also acknowledge the grace of God on in the life of people. So what are the strategies that has helped you turn one-time clients into repeat investors or referral sources? Who wants to start first?
Let me start. He's the one that just finished speaking. Okay. Now, when you talk about having a customer to be, a continuous, you know, a buyer or referring more people to you, first inspection lasts longer. That's just the first thing. There was a particular client that bought Ire from me, and then he bought. He actually, while we were talking, this woman is in France. So we're talking. Somebody actually referred her to me. So we're talking. Then I told her about Ire and everything about it. The first place he bought was not Ire. He firstly bought a land of 2.5 million. So when she bought that, I was like, okay. Then she was on installments. When you say somebody, though she subscribed for 2 acres. That is an acre for 2.5 million. So she subscribed for 2 acres. That is 12 plots. Okay. So she was on installment. And the installment thing, she was not really, really paying the way he promised to. Supposed to pay within 3 months. Now, along the line, I need to narrate this so that you understand the place of what I actually did that make her to her now even buy a bigger, you know, and refer some of her friends too to buy. Now, at that moment, I was like, this person is not really paying like that. It was like, there is a problem that I have right now. I needed to pay. Okay, she bought she bought the 2 acres on installment, and as at that time she has not even finished payment. Now she now saw my status, my advert on Ire. So she private chat and said, this Ire thing that you're talking about, I'm interested. What about it? Now I told her about it. Now it's okay. Let me pay 1 million as initial deposit for Ire. She now said later on, she paid today. Then the next day she said, Mrs. Ole, please, you need to refund that 1 million. So what happened? She said, my daughter got an admission. We've been expecting that admission for a long time, and I needed to make that payment. What are you going to do for me? I said, sorry, the complaint doesn't refund. And then, how are we going to go about this? She was like, I need this money. I needed to refund the money. Now, before that period, before that payment, she has introduced a friend of his. They are both in France. And the guy also paid initial deposit. Her interest was in Ire. So at that moment I was talking to her, she also talked to his friend. So the friend paid his own initial deposit of that month. So when she opted out, when she now made her home payment, she told me she needed that money. I said, for now we cannot refund the money because once you have paid, refunding is not really possible. So she was like, how am I going to do it? I said, okay, now, when there are problems as a realtor, you must learn to be fast in thinking. And you shouldn't be fast in giving response. You must learn to relax, think. As much as you want to think, you must learn to think fast. You must be fast in thinking. So that moment, I was like, okay, that your friend supposed to pay the next installment of 1 million naira. Okay, why not, since you are friends, why not let him make that payment to you? So the payments you have made, since it's the same complaint, will now stand for him. And that was how I was able to solve that problem. That really got attention. And she was like, oh, this is a very good thought of you. And we were able to solve that problem. She was so pleased at that moment. Now, at that moment, the price of Ire was 12 million per plot. 12 million at that time. So later on, after 2 months, she came back to me. And she said, Mr. Lawale, that area I want to buy. I said, the current price is now 15 million. And that 15 million is not even 12 months. The 12 million was meant to be 12 months payment plan. Now, this 15 million, you have to pay within 3 months. She said, 3 months. I can't afford 3 months, but I want to buy. I'm the one that introduced it to my friend. How will my friend buy and I will not buy? I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but let me see if I can talk to the management. I will get back to you. It was like, you are the CEO. You have to talk to them. You talk to them. If you talk to them, see, I know what I will do. I said, okay, don't worry. I will try my best. So I ended to talk to the MD, and I was like, see, my client, let me say, we can't go beyond 3 months. Recently, we can't go beyond 3 months. I said, please, what can you do for this woman? I said, she's even requesting for 6 months payment plan for that 15 million that was meant to be 3 months. You can see. I said, sir, what are we going to do? He said, at this moment, we cannot do anything except if you not get commission. Except if you will not get commission. Say, I will not get commission. And this client, you can see the condition. Now, at this junction, I was like, okay, this is a friend. Because I don't know her. I've not even seen her physically. It's somebody who's been just chatting. I think the last time, the picture I was able to see was the passport photograph that we used for the process of the form. I said, I will lose my commission. I said, okay. Oh, God, please now, why not just, even if you are not going to give me all, give me part of the commission. No, we are not going to give you this commission. Let's just close that deal. I said, okay, I have to give in. The sales was made. She paid the initial deposit, and she was like, and I told her, Madam, this I've done for you. I'm not getting commission. Say, are you sure? Yes, I'm not getting commission because what you are requesting for is not sellable, but I needed to position myself to do this. Now, I did not get commission. The sales went on. But I want to say that this woman has referred several people. This onwards investment we did, she invested again about 1.5 million on onwards Akumojo. She referred her sister that did about 1 million again. You are getting it. Now, I didn't get commission in that sales, but almost space. I never knew that will even come up at that moment. And she was able to. And she was still telling me, I still have so many people I'm going to refer to you. Now, are you getting something here? Now, this is the way I was able to do that to bring in more sales. I was able to do that to bring in more sales. And there is another client also that bought land of it's 89 million. Now look at just listen to you need to listen to. As at that moment,